it's Andrea over at Sewspire.com, and today I am here to show you how to begin making this adorable tote bag, which I have named P.S. I Love You. And the reason that that name has significance, the P.S. stands for pineapple square, which is what the block that comprises the front of this tote bag is commonly referred to in the quilting world, and I truly do love this bag. So it's just kind of a fun name, P.S. I Love You, and that's what I'm going to go ahead and call it. So this is a great size. The back here is quilted, but it is not, it's just two cuts of fabric that are pieced together, as well as the sides and the base, and the interior also crafted from just the 5 cuts of fabric. So the detail really is all in this first square here on the front, but I really love it. One of the things that makes this bag very unique is I quilted it after the exterior was assembled, so you can see that that quilting lines up all the way around the bag and then carries down to the base of the bag. So I have a little trick that I'm going to show you how to do that, and I think it offers a really unique look to this tote. But before we get started crafting our pineapple square for the front of this, I need to announce the winner of our collaborative beach bag. So just in case you haven't had a chance to check out that project, this is the beach bag here, and it has a great drawstring closure on the top. I think that ended up being a 6 or 7 part series that we just finished up. And so the winner of that beautiful bag is Brandy Kunkel. Congratulations, you are the winner. I'm going to send you an email, Brandy. If you will just reply with your shipping address, I will get your beach bag right out in the mail to you. If you would like to enter to win future Happy Mail drawings, you could do that over at Sewspire.com. Just click on the Happy Mail tab in the top navigation and put your name and email address, and you'll be entered into all subsequent Happy Mail drawings. So now the easiest way to make this pineapple square is to cut up a lot of coordinating 2-inch strips of fabric. So they're 2 inches wide, and then I just used whatever I had in a scrap basket. Probably the shortest length that you could have would be 5 inches in length, and then if I had longer strips, I just kept them long. And you'll see, because as we start to craft this and grow it around this 4-inch square, we're just going to use a rotary cutter and a acrylic ruler to true that all up. So if I were to give you the exact measurements and then somehow your seam allowance was a little off or it wasn't perfect, then you would get frustrated. So this really is just a simple way to do this. Granted, you might end up having some leftover pieces, but I think you're going to like this bag so much that you can just use them in your next one. So this is how I really want to show you how to do it. So you're going to begin with a 4-inch square, and I think it's kind of fun. In my sample bag, I have this pretty stag in the center. And for our bag, we're going to have the flower. So I think it's fun to choose something that's a focal point for that 4-inch square. And then just pick one of your pieces of fabric there that coordinate, and you're going to position that to the left and the right of the square and just true that up. So in this case, that one will be 4 inches by 2 inches, and you're going to need 2 of those cuts, and you're going to take those and attach them to the side of the square, And for this, I'm going to use 3/8 of an inch seam allowance for all of the piecing. Once we start actually assembling the bag, I'll switch to 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. You are welcome to use any seam allowance you like, but you must be consistent with the piecing or your pattern is going to get wonky on you quick. So I just prefer 3/8 of an inch, so that's what I'm going to use. And now when I'm piecing, I do not use the back stitch because I feel like it puckers up the fabric. So I just start at the very top and cruise all the way down to the bottom. Okay, the two sides have been attached and I want to press those seams open on the back. I said press them open. I think that would mean if you separated the seam. I just mean just press them flat. Okay, you don't have to burn off your fingers trying to press those open. So now I want to take and cut 2 pieces of fabric that span across that top edge of my square, and I don't have enough of that one, so I'm going to go in here and just choose another print that I really like. This polka dot is a lot of fun, and that's why I say just have a big stack of random lengths, because then you're not gonna drive yourself crazy with the pieces. So I'm just gonna lay that on there, and this is where the ruler comes in handy, because you can just line up your pieces. So the second piece across the top is a little less than 7 inches. So after you get that first piece measured, then you can just lay your second piece right on top there and trim it up. So now I have my top and my bottom, and I just position that right sides facing and attach those. And then I'll head on over to the iron and press that. Okay, and now that you have this initial square made here, which just for your peace of mind is 7 inches across and about 6 3/4 inch tall. What you're going to do is take your clear acrylic ruler, and you'll see that this is broken into, there are lines on there that indicate the 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4, and then the full inch. You're going to position this at an angle. If you have a rotary mat, that's very helpful. And what you want to do is come a 1/4 inch up from that square, that corner, okay? So we're going to cut off, it's 3 inches in and 3 inches down, and a 1/4 inch right from that square there, that top right hand corner. I'm going to get you a top view. And then what you're going to do is come there, hold that in place, and you're just going to cut that off. Then you can set that corner aside, and you're going to turn this and do the same thing to the other corner. And just keep rotating that, taking off those corners. Four corners off, and you have a piece that looks like this. So now it's still kind of square shaped, but it's starting to look more like a diamond. And you'll keep your flower upright like that, and then you're going to choose your next color there. And what you want to do is create a piece that's long enough for 2 of the edges. So my piece here is about 5.5 inches, and I went ahead and cut 2 of those at the same time. I'm just going to lay this down here along 2 of the edges on opposite ends and stitch that down. Okay, and that's what I have now, and I'll press that, and that's how it's coming together. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut 2 more pieces that span across the top. And these pieces are about 8.5 inches long. And I'll position those on the top and the bottom edge and stitch them down. Okay, and then I want to go ahead and press that. You're going to take your ruler again and lay that down and just cut off that corner. Okay, the way mine worked out is now I'm kind of cutting right in line with that corner. This does, by no means does this have to be perfect. The bag is still going to be incredibly gorgeous because you see how detailed this is becoming. It's so beautiful already. Okay, so to continue this process, you're just going to keep sewing the strips. Do 2 sides and then do the top, and you just keep sewing those on and cutting off the corners, sewing them on and cutting off the corners until you get 7 rows deep or something that is almost 15 inches wide. So that's what I'm going to continue to do, is just grow this square that I have going on here. And you see, eventually, the bigger this gets, these corners aren't even touching anymore. And that's the portion that you're angling and lopping off anyway, so it doesn't matter. But you can see how gorgeous this is. It's amazing, right? How quickly this starts to take on such an intricate design. But just keep cutting and attaching till you grow this, and pressing as you go. That eventually all I'm worried about is just attaching to those straight edges. So I'm getting more and more of a gap here. I'll show you a top-down view of that. So it's getting easier and easier to see where to cut. so now I have this great panel that's 7 layers deep, and I want to attach big 4-inch rectangles to the shorter edges, all right, which in my case are about 5 inches long, and the piece of fabric just has to be the 5 inches long by 4 inches deep. Mine are a little longer, but that's okay. Alright, and now you can see if I cut this, and I'll need a bigger ruler for that. If I cut this along this edge here and careful using my mat and my ruler, I'm going to be able to shape this into a square. So there's one side. So you see there how that is. It's adorable. In the next segment, we're going to start quilting it and crafting the exterior. And then the segment after that, we'll make the interior and fit that all together and attach the handles. So we're going to have a total of 3 segments in this series. Until we meet again, please know the creative genius in me celebrates the creative genius in you. Have a beautiful day, everyone.